welcome inside Studio 21 for Quick Pitch. I'm Heidi Watney. 15 games on a near-perfect Friday night around the majors, and we have got all the scorching hot highlights for you, so let's get started. The Stars welcome inside Studio 21 for Quick Pitch. I'm Heidi Watney. 10 games on this Thursday, and boy, did we have some drama. Let's get right to it. The Dodgers. Hello and welcome inside Studio 21 for Quick Pitch. I'm Heidi Watney. On this busy Monday night around the majors, we've got great division matchups, some bona fide aces on the mound, and an offensive explosion for the record books. So let's get right to it. Hello and welcome inside Studio 21 for Quick Pitch on this wild Wednesday around the majors. I'm Heidi Watney, and we have got plenty to get to, including Pete Alonso's first homer since the break. You have to see where this one landed. So Hello and welcome to Quick Pitch. I'm Heidi Watney. Back to a full slate this Friday with plenty of power showcased around the majors. Here's what we've got cooking. Happened. But the history of Dodger dominance against the Rockies doesn't end there. LA has actually won 11 straight games against Colorado. And to make matters worse, the Rockies have to face Walker Buehler on Thursday. The same pitcher who threw a complete game against Colorado with 16 strikeouts his last time facing them. But the tide has to turn sometime, right? Let's head out to the Mile High City to see if it would for Dodgers and Rockies as seen on Thursday night. Stars are out in Milwaukee this week as the Braves and Brewers clash in an important NL battle. 3 former MVPs will be suiting up between the two teams, Ryan Braun, Josh Donaldson, and of course the NL's reigning MVP, Christian Yelich. But another superstar in the building who doesn't have an MVP trophy on his mantle could be turning into a dark horse candidate this year. That, of course, is the Braves' Freddie Freeman, whose candidacy was bolstered on Sunday when he hit a clutch 3-run homer in San Diego to lift the Braves to victory. So could Freeman add to his resume with a few former MVPs? Just a month ago, the A's came into play at 36-36. But since that day, Oakland has the best record in the majors and has cut the Astros division lead to only 4.5 games entering Wednesday. So what has been the key to the A's resurgence? First and foremost, it's the pitching. Oakland's 2.94 ERA is the lowest in baseball during that period. In their series finale against the Mariners, the A's welcomed Homer Bailey to that surging rotation. Bailey has been on a bit of a streak himself recently. He's pitched to a 2.48 ERA over his last 5 starts, and Wednesday he looked to help the A's extend their current winning streak to debut. There are a number of teams in playoff contention that really could have used him, including 2 of his former teams, which are at the top of the list when it comes to most ninth-inning blown saves. The Red Sox, who Kimbrel saved 108 games for, and the Braves, who he notched 186 saves with. But it's the Chicago Cubs who gave him the 3-year, $43 million deal and activated him for the finale of this 4-game set against Kimbrel's former team. So would Joe Maddon's newest weapon out of the pen get a chance for his start at Yankee Stadium was one that he'd like to forget. The reigning AL Cy Young winner retired only 1 of the 7 batters he faced as he failed to make it out of the first inning. Snell didn't mince words about what caused the shortest outing of his career, saying, "A lot of that game was self-inflicted. I wasn't ready to go as much as I should have been, including game prep, planning, and not remaining aggressive when I first got into trouble." On Monday, Snell had a chance at redemption as he took the mound in the Bronx again, but it was the Yankees starter when the Marlins shipped off Chris Paddack for Fernando Rodney in the middle of the 2016 season. Paddack was just a 20-year-old prospect with less than 100 professional innings under his belt. But before he was traded out of the organization, Paddack received one lasting message that he still hasn't forgotten from the late Jose Fernandez. In 2015, Paddack spotted Fernandez while touring Marlins Park with some other minor leaguers. Paddack told The Athletic, "I was a kid and he was a kid, being able to pick his brain as much as I could. I told myself that if he can do it, I can do it." Well, in his rookie season, Chris Paddack clearly is doing it. And on Monday, he tried to show it to his old organization. 13th over their last 15 games, which has many wondering if the Giants are going to be the sellers at the trade deadline that everyone expected for the last couple of months. Well, don't tell that to Madison Bumgarner, perhaps the biggest trade chip, and who said after the game that he didn't give a bleep what anyone thinks. He's here to win games for this team and make it to the postseason. You have to admire his resolve, despite the fact that Fangraphs gives the Giants less than 4% odds to make the playoffs. But with one more win, San Francisco would get to 500 for the first time. Musgrove's outing in the top of the 10th. Musgrove pitched a scoreless 10th inning before Alex Bregman walked off the Dodgers with an RBI single. It would be the last time Musgrove pitched in Houston before his team won the World Series in 7 games. The team would trade for Garrett Cole that offseason, shipping Musgrove off to Pittsburgh. On Thursday, he returned to pitch at the juice box for the first time. San Francisco Giants offense has been one of the most potent in the league in July. And though the Giants don't really have a realistic shot at catching the runaway Dodgers in the NL West, they did wake up on Monday only 4.5 games out of the NL wild card. One of the biggest reasons for the Giants' surge has been the play of Evan Longoria, who is tied for the NL lead with 6 homers in July. But Longoria was sent to the injured list on Monday because of recurring plantar fasciitis. So could San Francisco's offense keep the pace going without Longo as they played a doubleheader at Coors Field? Speaking of the Diamondbacks, they will be featured this Saturday on Play Ball. Sean Casey hangs out with stars from the team. In this sneak peek, Jake Lamb breaks down the pros and cons of being roommates with Archie Bradley. Paul, #1 overall pick Adley Rutschman, showed just why he deserved that top spot. The Orioles catching prospect nailed a throw to second base while blindfolded. They say 10,000 hours at anything will make you an expert. Well, he has definitely got the muscle memory for that throw down. One hopper in there. Future looks bright for you, O's fans. Thanks for joining us here on Quick Pitch. I'm Heidi Watney. Offense has been red hot. With 19 runs scored on Thursday, the Sox overtook the rival Yankees for most runs scored this season. And right in the thick of that surge is reigning MVP Mookie Betts. But if you think Betts has just picked up where he left off last year, you would be wrong. In fact, Betts struggled so mightily at the plate in June that he had the worst offensive month of his career. But like MVP players do, Betts made an adjustment and is back to leading the American League in runs scored. Could he continue to capitalize against the division rival Yankees?
Well, for this young man, with all the talent in the world, he's got to get through the first inning. The first inning has been real rough to him this year.
And Mookie launches one to left. Looking up is Maven, but he's just a spectator. It's gone. 16th homer of the season for Mookie, and more first inning trouble for James Paxton.
Well, here's the one hitter in the Boston lineup that Paxton's going to have to pitch very carefully.
On the 3-1 pitch, forget about this one. That's number 21, and the Red Sox go up 3-0. Deja vu for Paxton with his first inning woes, and for the Yankees, who saw the Red Sox put a 7 spot on the board last night, 3 already tonight. Bottom of the third, Mookie Betts began the game with a towering home run for Boston. Is this number 2? Yes, it is. Into the monster seats, second of the night for Betts, and for the reigning MVP, his 17th of the season.
Might be heating up. Well, this pitch didn't get inside, so to a guy that I talked about loved it inside, middle half of the plate, throw his hands, get up. This was a mistake by Paxton, and he paid for it.
So here's Mookie, who has homered twice against Paxton. Look out! Look out! He's got the hat trick. Whatever Paxton's trying, it's not working. And the Red Sox just won't quit. 3 homers in 3 at-bats for Betts, and it's 7-0 Red Sox.
Andrew Cashner is pitching for a team with a winning record for the first time.
Looking to notch his first victory as a Boston Red Sox. Big ovation for Andrew Cashner. There have been 18 4-homer games in baseball history. No Red Sox has ever done it. He hits it very hard. He's 4 for 4, but it won't clear the wall. It will be another extra base hit and another run for the Red Sox as Chavis comes across.
The 4th time I was like, just get you another knock, man, because you know it's been a long season for me, and I have to. It's been a grind, and you know, just trying to get in where I can, and we haven't really been down on ourselves. You know, it's been rough, but you know, it's just a part of it. You know, we're really good at turning the page and getting ready for tomorrow.
The Red Sox make it 2 in a row against the Bombers as Mookie Betts stole the show in this one. The reigning AL MVP homered 3 times, giving him 5 3-homer games in his career, just 1 game shy of the all-time mark, and he should have plenty more time to climb to the top. Head to Saturday's action. Here's our early edition. The Red Sox will have a new face in their bullpen as Nate Eovaldi is the last call, Heidi's Heroes edition. We saw Anthony Rizzo's grand slam lift the Cubs to a win over the Padres. Well, there was a special meaning behind that long ball. Before Friday's game, Rizzo met 9-year-old Mateo Lambert, who's in Chicago to run a 5K to raise money for kids with cancer. Well, Rizzo is a cancer survivor himself and said that Mateo asked him to hit a moonshot. He obliged in grand fashion, but the hero in this story is Mateo, who's running his 20th race on Saturday to raise money for awareness for kids battling cancer. Way to go, Mateo. Time now for a look ahead to Tuesday's action. Here's our early edition. Lance Lynn will take the ball for the It's time now for last call. Now, it's not every day that an athlete comes into Yankee Stadium and makes the 6'6" CC Sabathia look small. But then again, it's not every day that the Greek freak pays a visit. Check out Milwaukee Bucks star and reigning NBA MVP Giannis taking some hacks in the cages at the stadium. I think he should stick to basketball, but I love the effort. And I love how small he makes Sabathia look. Like, he's seriously a huge human. Put him in right field, he doesn't even need to jump to rob home runs. That's pretty good. Now for a look ahead to Thursday's action, here's our early edition. Madison Bumgarner, robot umps or no robot umps? The debate isn't close to being over, but we had some action on the topic on Wednesday. Let's start with Marlins manager Don Mattingly.
I know they're trying, but there's way too many misses and way too many. That's the second game I know in the last probably week that's ended on us on a ball four. But the league tells me you sound like you're making excuses if you complain about it. So, obviously the stuff that's going on in the Atlantic League, those things it's gonna happen. It almost has to happen. So it's moving. Hopefully the technology gets there quick.
Speaking of the Atlantic League, be careful what you wish for. Just ask former Twins ace Frank Viola, who is now the pitching coach for the High Point Rockers and became the first person to be ejected for arguing with robot umpires. Just 4 days into the experiment with using an electronic strike zone in the Atlantic League, Viola got the old heave-ho for arguing balls and strikes, apparently with TrackMan. Now, Viola did take to Twitter to explain his position. He said it wasn't clear who was calling the pitches since the home plate umpire has the opportunity to overrule TrackMan. He said the rules need to be explained more clearly. Obviously, there's still a few kinks to work out, but at least Don Mattingly is a fan. Thanks for joining us here on QP.